Year 2020 has been an unprecedented year for any field, for any sector, and especially for our medical education sector. And it has immensely affected the education system of medical education, and especially for the 2020 batch. There are lots of uncertainties, hurdles which they are yet to face. There has been many new amendments which has been brought by NMC. So what is that message which you would like to convey to the 2020 batch in particular and to the medical students as a whole to acclimatize them to the challenges in the which the medical education sector has to offer in the coming years?
There's a saying that we all want change, but we don't want to change ourselves. So long as somebody else is changing, we have no problem. The moment somebody wants you to change you, then you have a problem. As I said, I do not agree with all the recommendations or actions of NMC. Surely, particularly the not democratic style of functioning. Okay? One of the explanations given for getting rid of the medical council was that because it is democratically elected, there was corruption and all that. Okay? There must be. I'm sure. I'm not going to talk about that at all. There must have been, and there is huge. But that's not the issue. We cannot say in a democracy that elected members means corruption, which is giving a very wrong message to the basic fundamental principle of our constitution. Are you with me? Understand what I'm trying to say? That will yeah. So it is unconstitutional to say that elected means corruption. What we need is, if you have an elected body, there has to be, check and balance at all stages. Okay? Whatever be the type of elected body, and medical council also was that. We could have, made medical council more proactive. Forget it. Now the change has happened. Now let's accept the change. When the government do something in wisdom, it's not easy to criticize, because the government also has thought of many opinions from many people. Now our responsibility is to go with the government and try to say what are the practical difficulties when you implement this. Now this, which again I'm saying again, I may not agree with everything medical new council is saying. But as a citizen of India, and since it is done by the highest authority of the country, it is our responsibility to go with it. At the same time, point out the practical difficulties. When you make a law, you cannot think of all the practical difficulties that come through. So what is the responsibility? There is a responsibility of teachers, responsibility of management, and responsibility of the student council or student community. What is the responsibility of management or the teachers? Quickly adjust to the new situation, because change is not bad. All changes have brought new things. COVID, everybody say COVID has destroyed us. COVID has, made the whole world like this. I said COVID has done nothing wrong. COVID has just taught us one lesson. You may be so smart that you can have arsenal to kill the whole world in 1 second. But something which cannot be seen without electron microscope. He has made everybody, from me to President of America, put mask. Everybody in this world has been straightened out, saying that you are nobody. Okay, if I am a believer, I will say God has done it. But if I am an atheist, you may say nature has done it. Let it be anybody. I am a strong believer. That's a different issue. You get the point? Straightened out people, straightened out everybody. The arsenal, nuclear arsenal is enough to kill every human existence in the world. You have that much power with you, but you don't have power to breathe the fresh air that you used to breathe. You have to breathe the re-breathing carbon dioxide with the mask. There's a whole lot of problem of using mask also. You understand my point? So I think it has taught the world that there is something beyond what you think as, what you think as science. And science is not just what you know. Science is exploring beyond what we know. Somebody asked me after you got your DSC, what change has he brought in you? I said, I become more humble because I realized that I have the highest degree in science anywhere in the world, and yet I know how little I know about things. Are you with me? And this happened when I was doing in 1970, when I was doing physiology. Samson Wright, there's a textbook called Samson Wright Physiology. It's written Samson Wright DSC. I went to my teacher and said, what is this? A diploma fellow is writing a textbook? He said, what diploma? It's not diploma. He said, Doctor of Science is the highest degree. If you have that, don't put any other degree. You can't put PhD after that because it is the highest. At that time, as a first year medical student, I dreamt of getting the same degree. Maybe after 50 years, I got it. Are you with me? So this is the sort of years that you have to pursue consistently, persistently to achieve something. It is not for anything else. It is for your own inner satisfaction. So that is what management teachers have to take in their stride and say that we are going to make it easy for children. Remember, we all say day in and day out, I want these changes to happen. But when changes come, we don't grab the opportunity. We don't grab the opportunity to use it in a positive way. Can there be anywhere a law that is 100% acceptable to you? No, it cannot be. Because we are millions. Millions have different dreams and perceptions. So there will be difference. So whatever is a disagreement, leave it aside. Teachers should see that this program is successful because there is so much of communication element has come into it, so much of changes that the NMC has brought. Now, second, management. Management must decide, realize that in the coming 10, 20 years, foreign universities are going to come here. Without quality, nobody survives. If I am correct, there are at least 2-3 medical colleges on sale. Somebody asked me, opinion, sir, what about starting a new medical college? I said, why you want to start a new medical college? There are enough and more medical colleges on sale because it is not so easy to run a medical college. So management should realize that if you want quality children, if you want a grading of your medical college, you have to go with the times and not just think of only the money part of it. Yes, I'm sure every pie is precious. It is so important for them to make the money. Easy for us to blame them, but they have to create the money. But even within that money should be utilized for bringing quality into medical education, and people will go there. Now, is it because for the comfort that you go to CMC Vellore or Ludhiana? No. Why do the students prefer that? There are many people who got admission in All India Institute that doesn't want to go there. They said, we'll go to CMC Vellore. Why? Because Vellore has that, brand value that you come out as a good doctor. Whereas in big national institute, you may come out as brilliant technicians, but not a doctor in the usual sense. So some people prefer that. Some people, you want to go to US, that your technician becoming a medical technician may be a more important. So management. And what about student community? Student community, I'll tell you the best lessons I have learned as a medical student was from my seniors. And 3 things I learned in CMC Ludhiana. Number 1, to respect girls. You cannot, if you do something wrong with a girl, you are treated like so bad, so bad, unimaginable. Nobody will look at you. What a fellow! How can you do that? So 10 years of my life there was never an official complaint from any girl. Not that nothing would have happened, something might have happened, definitely, but nothing serious has happened. So CMC taught me one thing, to respect girls. That's the most important. Second thing CMC taught me was to respect nurses as your colleagues. Everybody asked me, why are you always talking about your nursing students? Well, I'm talking because that's the basis that I have been taught. Even when we did not have a good new hostel, the nursing students had the best hostel. Because they always told us, You have this is something what my mother told us. So, in my childhood, I've said this before. If a cake is brought, cake is now routine thing in the house, but those I'm talking about 50 years ago, the cake is come on, you have to go to a town to get a cake. You understand me? So if a cake is brought to the house, she'll give the first piece to the girl, servant girl in the kitchen. And I said, I am the youngest son. Why don't you give me first? So my mother told me that you have the right to take it. She doesn't have the right. Think of the person who doesn't have the right. If you have done that, then everything is okay. So that is the principle. So if you take your nurses along, I think medical curriculum in your whole life, you will be much better off. It's not only the scrub nurse in the theater, it's not only the neonatal nurse in the neonatal intensive. Anywhere you go, they are the ones who will go. They respect the doctors. They obey the doctors. They are with you most. Exceptions may be there. So I think medical students should learn to respect them and go. This is the second most important thing I've learned. And third one, of course, I said before, patient is your God. God doesn't come come to you only maybe in dream, but God comes in front of you. An elderly man, so bad, just when he come in front of you, why don't you think of your grandfather? He is a grandfather of somebody else. So if you have that feeling in you, the best thing God had done to me was I didn't have a child for 5 years. That 5 years of infertility has made a man out of me. You understand what I'm saying? You study in CMC, you got a MD, you come back, at that time, of course, you had all the French beard, all that, the hang bang style and all that of that time. Remember, then you think you are on top of the world. You got married, you had no child for 5 years. The mush that was go up, it came down because, I felt so useless, helpless. That feeling is tremendous. And when I got the child, I'm on top of the world. That's why I'm a good pediatrician. That's why I'm a good counselor. You understand? I can understand the feeling of somebody who doesn't have something. If you have this quality, you become a good doctor, not what you have at home. Comfort is, there's a 2 word, I think, to my all my children, മക്കളെന്ന് ഞാൻ പറയാ. മക്കളോട് പറയാനുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യം ഇതാണ്. There are 2 വാക്കുണ്ട് economics. One, it is called need, other one is called want. Need should be satisfied, not a want. അല്ലേ? നീഡ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഉച്ചയ്ക്കൊരു ഊണ് കിട്ടണം എന്നുള്ളത് നമ്മുടെ നീഡാണ്. അത് ബിരിയാണി തന്നെ വേണം എന്നുള്ള വാണ്ടാണ്. Your want can never be satisfied. 1 കിട്ടിയാൽ 10 ആകണം, 10 കിട്ടിയാൽ 100 ആകണം, 100 1000 ആകണം. ഒരു സോങ് ഉണ്ട് അങ്ങനെ, ഇല്ലേ? 1000 10,000 ആകണം. മനുഷ്യന്റെ ആഗ്രഹങ്ങൾ ഒരിക്കലും ഇത് തീരത്തില്ല. അപ്പൊ ആഗ്രഹങ്ങളുടെ പിന്നാലെ പോകാതെ you go that perception of the path that you want in life and go after that. You object to unwanted things, but object decently. Object with power, but not violence. This is extremely important. Okay?
Oh, amazing, sir. Very true. Change, that is the only constant factor in life. For a better understanding